Awesome. Okay, welcome everyone to All Night Northern XR, live from Turku. And my name is Joe Orengo. I am the founder of Spatial 8. We're a metaverse concierge. I'm also the president of XR Nation, the extended reality community that's part of Spatial 8. And I'm also the business developer of C-True Technologies. We make the most robust eye tracking solution on the market. And before we tell you about what All Night is and All Night Northern XR in particular, I just want to thank our sponsors for tonight, and that's Spark Up startup community here at Turku Science Park and Turku University of Applied Sciences and Spatial 8. So, what is All Night? First of all Night is their Augmented World Expo branded meetups from all over the world. And All Night Northern XR, in particular, as you can see, covers the whole of the Nordic and Baltic area. And so the whole idea and our aim is to bring the Nordic and Baltic XR communities together and be able to shine a light on the extraordinary people and companies creating extraordinary things in the XR space. So yeah, you can actually hear different All Night meetups on aw.live, which is what we're online as right now. Okay, so like I said, aw.live is the platform that's always on, and you can go there and you can take part in other all-night meetups, and you can also take part in all EU and all US and all Asia events. There's networking and more, so check it out. And if you're going to all US in 2023, at the end of May and the beginning of June, you get a 20% discount with this code. You can check it out later, or come to me if you want to see it again, because it was kind of fast. And these are the events, like I was saying, or US, or Asia, and or EU. Unfortunately, we won't be able to be going to all US this go round, but we'll definitely be in all EU in Vienna. At least that's the plan. So if you would like to join us, we can set up another pavilion this time because we had one last October in Portugal. Okay, and there are always upcoming events besides the meetups. You can check out all.live. You can register for free. There's this week in XR podcast. There's the XR pub crawls, the new All Night in Mexico City, and other things as well, like how to build a world-class XR educational facility, and more. And last but not least, the All Academy, where you can learn about fundraising for your XR startup, and also web AR workshops. And so you can follow on all the coolest social media that's out there right now. Okay, so that's our really quick intro for the all part of this. Next up we have Spatial News, which is Spatial 8's media arm. We have a newscast, we have a podcast, and we have a newsletter. And this is our newscast produced by Teemu Olilainen, who is also the co-organizer of All Night, my business partner at Spatial 8. And it's going to say YAMK on there because this is a bit of a rerun, but just ignore that and pretend it says Turku AMK. Okay? Action.
Sheesh! What was that? Wow. I think this is a bit weird, but okay. Nevertheless, I think I have to read the news anyway, even though I'm in the. Oh, my eyebrows are moving. That's nice. I'm in the metaverse, so let's start off with the news. So, welcome to All Night Northern XR. This time we are live in Jyväskylä Digi and Game Center. And here we are together with YAMK University of Applied Sciences. So please watch the recording from Off the Live if you are not watching this live. First off, Mercedes, the car maker Mercedes-Benz, is using NVIDIA's Omniverse platform to design and plan their manufacturing and assembly facilities for its upcoming fleets. They have a platform that allows Mercedes-Benz to create a feedback loop to reduce waste, decrease energy consumption, and continuously enhance their quality in the product. So I think that's quite important. You can see the video playing on the background. They are also setting up a sort of a digital first planning process where the car model can be reconfigured in simulation. So the plant won't be disturbed, the current production won't be kind of disturbed by the reconfiguration. And then the blueprint will be rolled out to other parts of the global Mercedes-Benz production network. Then on with the, let's say, headset news. HTC Vive, new version coming up in February. So that's quite close by, a couple of weeks now. So they will be releasing their new VR headset. So it will be a high-end VR headset, not XR, but VR. But having said that, they have the ability to have pass-through cameras in color, and it has depth sensors for mixed reality. But the test here, the hands-on experiment by CNET, they tried variety of VR experiences, but didn't see much of the blending of the reality and real world. So let's see how that actually plays out. Then next, headset news, which is of course mandatory now. You always have to talk about Apple as the reason, at least at this point, is that they would be maybe releasing their headset or the mixed reality headset before the developers conference in June. But let's see, they have been planning to launch it already in 2020, 21, 22. Now it's 23. Let's see if this actually makes it. Fourth time is the charm, is it so? Yeah, maybe. I think the saying is third time is the charm, but maybe fourth at this point. And regarding the Apple glasses, I have to advertise also Spatial News Pod, which is a podcast that we have done with the most relevant players in the industry. We have good guests in our podcast, but the final guest is artificial intelligence interviewing artificial intelligence. So we have the 10 most relevant topics of smart glasses in the podcast by ChatGPT. What are the 10 most relevant questions? And they are answering, the AI is answering to those questions as well. On top of those 10 questions, I also asked about the Apple headset. And I got an answer. So that's quite interesting answer. You really need to listen that it's episode 6. And remember, Spatial News Pod. Listen to that. All right. Now, I'm maybe a bit scared to go to the Kalles, but nevertheless, that's the point in time that we're going to do it now. So it will be the Kalles. First, I think it's just Kalle. So let's see. Leap trigger. What is that? Let's see. Kalle will tell.
Yes, hello, it is me, Kalle. Hello, everybody. I am here. I am in the real world. You are in the metaverse. I will not let you out. But this leap triggered. Triggering leap. No, it is Japanese. AR comment. Yes, they play in AR. Interesting game. You shoot with your phone. Yes, with your phone. You shoot. Bang bang. Yes. Not very virtual. I give this 6 out of 10. But I think the video is very good. I give it 7 out of 10. Thank you. This was Kalle. Bye.
Okay. Thank you, Kalle, for or that review. So you are reviewing these now. Okay, let's maybe call them later as color reviews. Okay. Next up is Octonic VR. I hope you enjoy working out, Kalle. So within this, we are. Well, let's leave it as a surprise when you can see the video. So go ahead, Kalle. Let's see how you do on a treadmill.
Yes, hello. This, what you say? Run? No. Kalle, no run. Yes, what is this? Octonic. Switch. Hand controller. What is this? Oh, this, very good. This combine virtual and physical. Interesting combination. You run at metaverse. Yes, you run metaverse. Yes. Nice. I give this 9 out of 10. Very good. I will try this. Yes. Also, please follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Kalle Official. Official. Yes, it is Kalle Official. You can find me. Yes, thank you. Bye.
All right, thank you, Kalle. Let's get you on that treadmill as soon as possible. Now the couple of last news here. One of which is interesting new platform that was announced on January 10th by Scared Ghost or Anthony Vitello, as we know him. They have launched a new platform called Vroom, which they have developed for over 3 years, and created like virtual versions of Venice Film Festival or a couple of VR concerts with Jean-Michel Jarre that already won some awards. So an interesting new platform that they have pivoted towards using it for events and live shows. So an interesting new platform to try out. They are in alpha stage, so try it out, give them feedback, and they can develop it further together with the community. So definitely something worth trying out. Then final news is something we've been waiting for news for, let's say, for a couple of years. If you remember, US military buying HoloLenses, 120,000 of them over a 10 years period. Now this year, in the news is that they are planning on releasing them for the first set of 5,000 soldiers. So it's called Microsoft Integrated Visual Augmentation System. And it's designed to give the soldiers visual enhancements such as positioning and friendlies and enemies, 3D maps, night vision, and even biometric tracking. So let's hope at least that it does well on detecting friends from enemies. So let's see how that goes, or hopefully you don't have to reboot the device. Anyway, that's all for the news. Thank you. Even though I'm as an avatar here, I'm gonna try to see if I can find my original form. So thank you all for listening, and have a good OV night, or just a night if you are not watching the OV night live. Thank you. Bye. I cannot wave, my hands are not moving. But anyway, I'm waving.
University of Applied Sciences. Take it away, sir.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Our chief of the research group, Mika Luimula, is not here, but he wanted to give some well, he wanted to show you a video, but yeah, my name is Sami Aho, and I welcome you as the co-host with Joe. Yeah, welcome. And let's see what Mika has to say. So he's also in the metaverse. So
who wouldn't be?
okay, let's start it again. Now it's
Hi there. Have you seen our metaverse? Let's have a look at it. Okay. Welcome to AWE event in Turku. My name is Mika Luimula from Turku University of Applied Sciences. So unfortunately today I'm not present here in your fancy event. Actually, greetings from Singapore. So here we have our new office building in metaverse, and welcome to our futuristic interactive technologies space. And if someone is interested to visit here, I believe that our engineers can help you, and you can learn more about this technology during this day. So here's my presentation, and let's start. So greetings from Futuristic Interactive Technologies Research Group. So about our research activities, so we have moved our R&D profile from healthcare towards virtual safety training and industrial metaverse in the last couple of years. Here you can see our research activities. Typically we are focusing on user-centric design principles, and for us it's always very important that we are creating working prototypes, and priority one for us is industrial cooperation, and in addition we are of course doing research with our academic partners, and in those activities at the moment effectiveness studies are in the center. Like you can see from these pictures, already, let's say 3-4 years ago, we applied AR and VR in healthcare side, and just lately, like you can see, it's more or less about virtual training and metaverse in technology industry. Here you can see our R&D project portfolio. So, like you can see, at the moment, main part of our funding is coming from Business Finland veterinary programs. We are involved in Meyer, ABB, and Valmet veterinary programs, and actually submitted a couple of other applications to Nokia and Meyer programs. What makes it also interesting for your event today is that there are some new veterinary programs like Konecranes, Ponsse, and EPEC. Ponsse and EPEC, for example, have in Turku offices, and we have been already in discussions that we could apply industrial metaverse in their upcoming projects in the future. About our current projects and a couple of projects that has already finished, so we have applied our own metaverse technology in common bridge environment. We have also created collaborative training environment for harbor workers. You can see in the right hand side also one environment dedicated for medical students. We had around 120 students studying 3 credit points course over there, and over 90 of them completed all 60 tasks. In the below you can see a couple of other projects. Of course, now when we have joined NATO, it will be interesting to learn more which type of funding instruments will be available in military sector. We have some activities ongoing in that area at the moment. In addition, we have some projects in process automation and also with Meyer. Why we are so interested about industrial metaverse? You can see, for example, Nokia is at the moment very keen on industrial metaverse. They have some forecasts where we can see that industrial metaverse is actually the most lucrative business area in 2030. And you can see also in the right-hand side that Nokia has defined metaverse as a core technology, and all these other advanced technologies like XR, blockchain, machine learning, artificial intelligence, etc. They are part of this metaverse concept. We have readiness to apply this new Nokia's real-time extended reality multimedia technology. You can see in the up left corner there is one virtual safety training solution where we have used game graphics and environment. It's quite generic. When using laser scanners and 360 video cameras, we can bring this same virtual training environment to the authentic hazardous industrial condition. I would underline that this test what we have made, it's not in real time, but it's from real life. And when using Nokia's innovation, we could bring this training solution in the real-time condition. Why Finland should take the leadership in this area? Finland is very strong in technology industry. We are well known in ICT and also in gaming. So this is some kind of combination of all of those. And you can see that if we compare this metaverse business to business domains like geographic information systems or game industry, we are talking about engines, we are talking about applications. And in this new business area, we have created own metaverse technology. We have created own metaverse environments for various customers, and main part of the customers, they are from the technology industry. So we should definitely focus together in this area. And actually last week there was the first national metaverse strategy planning meeting in Business Finland, and we had around 200 participants in that preparation event, and I was actually invited to be the secretary of one of these working groups. So now it's really time for ACT, and I hope that also AWE society will and network will be somehow contributing in this Finnish Industrial Metaverse initiative. So this is pretty much what I would like to tell you at the moment, and I look forward to hear your greetings from this fancy event, and I hope that we will collaborate many ways in the future. Thank you very much.
If any of the APE people wants to contact us, then you can find Mika's information just now on the video. Yeah. So next up is Dimitrios Poutsalos from Novia. He's a process researcher, and he will come to tell about the Novia University of Applied Sciences stuff. So let's close this.
seems to work. Hi, my name is Dimitrios Bouzoulas. I'm a project researcher at Novia, and today I'll give you a short presentation about our extended reality developments at Novia. To begin, a bit about our goals. Our primary goal is safe and sustainable shipping. Parts of that goal are avoiding accidents and lowering their amount, achieving remote and autonomous operations, freeing up humans to focus on the most complex tasks, and to provide maritime digital solutions through the use of XR. A bit about our projects. The first project I'd like to talk about is a remote pilotage project we have. For those of you unfamiliar with the maritime world, a pilot is an individual who assists sea captains in navigating through a harbor they are not familiar with. Meaning that if we have a ship that's coming into Turku and the captain is not familiar with the harbor, a pilot is brought to the ship, they climb on top of the ship, and then they assist the captain in navigating through the harbor. Now, some of the problems that come up with that process is that it's unsafe. Some pilots have died during that process. And it's cost and time inefficient, meaning that it requires money and time to do it. Through the use of XR, we make it safe. We lower the amount of time and money required for this operation, and we detach the pilot from the situation that the ship is in. Meaning that if the ship is going through some bad weather or anything bad, the pilot is safe and they're able to rationally assist the captain in navigating through the harbor. What we've done currently is that we've given remote access to the ship's cameras to the pilot, so they are able to look around the ship and assess the situation remotely. In addition to that, we've given the pilot a chart that they can navigate through and locate the ship on the map. And finally, we've given them heads-up displays that display additional information about the ship. Next, we have a maritime situational awareness project, where currently, when the captain walks into the cockpit and they look around, they have multiple displays and panels displaying information to them. The aim of this project is to unite all that information and display it in a better way. What we have done here is that we've used object detection in order to detect objects that surround our ship, primarily other ships, and through the use of heads-up displays, we display information about those ships to the captain. In addition to all of this, through hand tracking and raycasting, we allow the captain to change the amount of information that's being displayed, meaning that the captain can point at the panel and minimize it or maximize it to change how much information they view. As a result, the captain can at any moment change how much information they're viewing and optimize it for the given situation. This is our research team that worked on all those projects, and that's the end of my presentation. Thank you. Can we answer the questions too, or is
Didn't sort it, but is do you have any questions?
are there any questions?
Yeah, are any of these projects going to spin out into startups, or what's the plan with that?
Some of them are collaboration projects. The first one is a collaboration between our Novia and Fraunhofer, which is located in Germany, and the remote pilotage one, and it's planned to at some point go out as a product. And the second project is a Novia project, which too is going to be a product at some point.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Dimitrios. Okay, so next up we have Nite, so Natasha Schultz, the CEO, founder, amazing artist person.
Local village idiot and so forth. Most of you know me from the IG guys. We have a lot of things going on and growing company. All right, let's see. Does it? Where you are, I'm very happy to be here on behalf of Nite. My name is Natasha Skult. I'm CEO and one of the founders, but also creative director of the company. So who we are and what we do when it comes to XR, VR, AR, and all the other Rs. Well, first of all, besides the company, I'm also very active in the community, as mentioned a moment ago, and also I'm a researcher and teacher at University of Turku. I do research on interactive storytelling with quantum computing, and no, I'm not a quantum physicist nor a quantum engineer, so I'm more on the design side of things. How do we actually use that technology? Same like any other technology. And also I teach game design and game art at university and basically elsewhere, but mainly University of Turku. So Nite, what do we do? And we are a game company, which is focusing on interactive storytelling. And that's where, regardless of the platform. So this is not following my, I thought that I changed.
It should be following. Maybe arrow then? Arrow.
It's working here, but not here. Let's try like so, if I... Nice. All right, so what we do. We do basically cross-platform development when it comes, including VR, AR, and pretty much everything else. But we focus also mainly on entertainment game development, so basically entertainment games. We also do a lot of B2B and B2C, so besides our own products, we also develop a lot of things for other companies, also other game developers, but as well other industries, so absolutely outside of also tech, gaming, and so forth. And one of our really big projects came exactly through VR. And where we are praised and why we do a lot of collaboration with really big boys out there, like Ubisoft and many others, is content creation. So 3D, 2D, and name it, everything in between. And basically, it's all about experience design. Because what we focus on, when you see about this sort of interactive storytelling and why stories? Stories are what actually, and we are not talking here about also walls of text, just to be very clear. It's about interactive storytelling, which means that we are emotionally engaging users with the content that it's there. And especially this is important when it comes to technologies such as AR, VR, and so forth. And this is why we will now hopefully show you one of the industrial cases, but also as well some of the more entertainment side of things. Unfortunately, especially in VR, things are not still where we are hoping to be when it comes to actual people, mortals, not having as many devices, VR devices in use on an everyday basis nowadays. Yes, we do, but not really as a mass consumption. And that's why it's still B2B is where VR stands strongly still. But that may change, as you have seen also from previous presentations, all the new upgraded gears that we have. So, instead of going through the presentation, how about we try link?
Yeah.
Nothing happens there. Okay. Let's try again.
We can also splice in the video later if you want to.
Yeah, we can. Just let's see what happens. Will it recognize anything? One of the biggest VR projects we have been part of is that we created a completely virtual version of the Viking Line Glory, the new ship that actually now you can go and have cruise at. So Viking Line's Glory was built in China, and while it was under construction in China, we created a completely virtual version of it together with their architects, so official development with their, so it was all very, very important to keep safe and sound due to safety reasons, obviously. But every single texture and thing in the, oh, wow, yay, there we go, is being done exactly the one as it's in. So it's basically a digital duplicate to the of the ship itself. And not only that this was used for marketing material, so to say. So let's see, will it now, first of all, go back to, because I was hoping that I can show you, wow, it works, yay. All right, so, so this is not, I mean, this is the digital, meaning done in Blender, model of Viking Line Glory, as well as insides, which are the different scenes just that I wanted to show you today from inside. And you can go, so the VR version of it was not just used for let's say promo and kind of sales part for their clients and so forth, or showing at the different fairs, but it was also used for safety training for the actual staff, because staff comes really late, so to say, when it comes to ship gets in, and then everything else is still under construction in the harbor before the launch, like to actually start shipping, like the tours start going. So this also helped them in many other ways. So there is also not just business side, but actual implementation with needs inside the ship. So let me show you now the video. Hopefully it all pans out and works. And also this is the quality of the graphics that we do also in VR. So just to be very clear, this is how you go through. And we work in Unity and Unreal Engine as well. Also, as you go to the cruise, in some of these displays, there are also some hour visualizations that we created specifically for their needs. So for the New Year's and any other celebration, the big kind of like dome with the fireworks, that's also our work, and a bunch of other things that are within the ship that you can see as you enjoy your time and cruise. So yes, this is what we do. So we are a commercial game development company, which also does a lot of industrial implementation due to our skill set from the commercial side of entertainment, as we work on the AA, AAA titles as well, which hopefully I will be able to talk about slightly later this year. We also do this kind, and also our own products. So yeah, we are currently having 20 people in our team and growing. As mentioned, we actually are looking to recruit some more. And yeah, that's, and just to give you, so this is the main case that I thought would be most relevant for you. But again, we are as well experimenting with quite many different ways how we can utilize the interactivity between the reality and the virtual side. So a lot of AR as well. Let's see, will it work? For different solutions. And besides that, we also support other developers and other industry assets through a variety of the services, because it's all about collaboration. And there is also the educational side, where we wanted to do the commercial mobile game using also AR through virtual pet game, actually have quite many different things with the AR as well. Also like spatial, that you would have it like with the AR content to play, the kids can play and co-op at the spot, but also through some of the actual physical things like a book, where you can scan the images, the coloring book and other activities, and they can get more content there. And we have a variety of things. That's one of our products, which we also have trademark for Sanalanka products. And then we also do location-based tracking and different kind of solutions for other businesses. This is one of the apps when it comes to shopping navigation and experiences, and of course supporting again, I was just trying to get some examples from what we do for others, because that's the type of event this is, so I didn't want to bore you with the game stuff. And another thing with the VR, so we have been, as mentioned, we have been working with the quantum computing even before for the past 4 years or plus. And this is one example how we did the actual quantum computing simulation as a wizard in the lab, kind of like in the wizard's lab in the VR. And then of course some other type of AR-based, this is also quantum-based card game. Simply as a card game, also using augmented reality for entertainment use. And quantum computing, again, for entertainment use. So these are just some examples that I wanted to share today with you. And yeah, I'm more than happy to tell more. These are only those that we can show at the moment, but some of our partners and clients. And of course, if you have any questions or you wish to know more about Nite and generally what we do, since we are here in Turku and work globally. So yeah, happy to be in touch. Feel free to contact Oskari or me anytime. And yeah, thank you for having me today. And I'm looking forward to any questions, comments, especially in the upcoming panel discussion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Natasha. Recruiting, huh? That's interesting, but we local people can talk here later, and online people can rewind the video or...
Yes, online people can reach us out online.
Yeah. Okay. So next up, when I get this PC here, is not working yet. Oh, this is the clicker. Too many clickers. Too many clickers.
don't know, it's
This
clicking.
works.
What is
Right.
it showing?
Yes.
Minor technical hiccups, but
This is the moment when how many engineers?
Yeah. Apparently just two. So yeah, my name is Frans Senla. I'm the sales and marketing manager of Control Reality. And today I'm going to tell you more about our company, Control Reality. We're a company based here in Turku, born from the University of Turku. We're a university spin-off, I'm really proud of it. And we have experience from all kinds of different XR projects. And today I'm going to tell more about these XR projects and our products. So here you can see we're a team of 10 people and we have experience from software development, game development, graphic design, and also pedagogical know-how. And like I already told you, we're from the University of Turku. So we have a lot of different products. The first product I'm going to tell you about is the hands-on training. It's basic virtual reality simulation, so to speak. And our hands-on trainings are best suited for processes that take a long time to master and involve many complex steps. A good example of these kinds of things might be how to maintain a machinery, how to operate a machine. These are really, really good things to practice in virtual reality. And we've been researching these things for many, many years. We started in the University of Turku in 2012, and we founded the company in 2017, so we've been studying these things for many, many years, so we know how to make the best possible experience, the best possible training scenario. And like the research suggests that the memory retention after a VR experience is much higher than viewing video or text-based learning materials. And that's why we founded this company, because we really believe in the product and the way of training people. Overall, VR training and VR simulations, they are a really safe and repeatable and extremely effective way to train people. And hopefully, we have an example case here. This is a VR simulation, VR training scenario that we made for Nite. It's the loading and unloading of oxygen and nitrogen. It's a great way to train people because usually when you do these kinds of things, so you unload and load nitrogen and oxygen, liquid nitrogen and oxygen, it can be really dangerous if the nitrogen spills, for example, and it can be a huge mess. But in virtual reality, you can practice these things completely safe and risk-free. And it also frees up the tanker truck for the business operations, because normally you would need the tanker truck, and you would need to practice with the tanker truck, but in virtual reality you don't need the vehicle. And so it frees up the tanker truck for the business operations. And you can also train wherever, whenever, and like I previously already mentioned, it's safe, completely risk-free, and really flexible. And here we have a summary of our different VR training solutions that we've done so far in a video. Examples from a lot of different fields and industries. There you could see healthcare, industrial, metaverse, and all kinds of different things. But that's just one way to teach and train people. We also have visual learning. And visual learning, you could say it's easier to produce, because with visual learning you only need the 360 camera, and you take photographs of different locations and settings, and then you build the training experience around those 360 photos you've taken. This is a great way, for example, to practice work safety, to spot different objects or hazards, work safety hazards, for example. And this is used like this with Wärtsilä and ABB. They've done work safety hazard training for their employees, and they've been really satisfied, and they really liked it so far. And it's a really cost-efficient and quick execution, like I already mentioned. It's done by 360 photography, so you only need to take the photos, then you bring the material to our web-based editor, where you actually edit the material. You put these information spots that you can see on the right side there. And these information hotspots can contain texts, photos, videos, questions. It's a really good way to engage your trainees. And it's also suitable for marketing purposes as well. Of course, it's a really great way to train your employees, but if you want to make a virtual factory tour, for example, you can do it like this. And here's the whole process, how it works. Step one is the 360 photography. You shoot the environments you want to include in your virtual training. Step two is that you actually edit the material in our web-based editor. You put the hotspots there. What do you want the hotspots to contain? Videos, photos, whatever. You build the experience. Step three is setting up the virtual headset, and step three is experiencing the training experience. We also have a product for design. It's called Control Elements. It's a virtual reality platform for visualization, collaboration, and training. You can remotely work in a shared virtual space. You can build, or you can actually bring your own 3D models in the space and talk with your colleagues, add notes, see it from a human perspective. For example, the Viking Line boat that you just showed us. You could bring that whole boat to our platform and have all these different kind of functionalities and discuss the plans and the model in virtual reality and see it from a human perspective and understand the whole model much better than you would otherwise. Yeah, like I already mentioned, you can bring your own 3D models and add external models. The program supports all major 3D formats, and the cloud service allows simultaneously work from different locations. And the users see the model simultaneously. So if you bring for example, here we have a 3D model of an airplane. So all the users in the virtual space see the plane simultaneously and can make notes and discuss the plans. And here you can see different benefits of the platform. You can work from anywhere. You understand the base better because you're in the metaverse, you're in the same space, and you see it from a human perspective. And you can locate these costly blunders before even building these things. And make faster and better decisions because you can compare and see it like it is. It's a really data-safe way to do planning and design. And also a powerful sales tool. It can give your customers an unforgettable and immersive VR experience, like a wow factor. And the last thing we do is augmented reality. Our platform is called Tarina, and our slogan apparently is immersive storytelling. But like with the visual training, with the augmented reality, we also have a web-based editor where you can actually build these experiences all by yourself. In the web-based editor, you have a map view, and you just click on the spot you want to build your AR content, and it puts a pin on it. And then you can like build the AR content. You can add different 3D models, text, photos, sounds, videos, green screen videos, animations. And when you're done building it, and you've chosen your spot, for example, if I put a pin on the Castle Turku, and then I can walk to the Castle Turku with my Tarina application that can be downloaded from the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, and I have my Tarina application, it automatically gives the right content at the right place. So I can start experiencing the augmented reality experience that you built in the web-based editor. Yeah. And this is just a short video from one of our customers. We made UkiR application for Uusi Kaupunki for tourists that really gives an overview about the history of Uusi Kaupunki.
Mutta tässä ollessani ja miettiessäni olen samalla seuraillut, mitä rakkaalle uudelle kaupungilleni on tapahtunut. Mennään tutustumaan yhdessä vanhojen palomuurien.
Yeah, that's about it. Here you can see our customers, some of them at least. Some pretty known players there, Metsä Group, Wärtsilä, ABB, Avomara, Novia as well. Novia was here today. And Turku, of course. But yeah, let's get in touch. Just send me a LinkedIn invite or call me, email me, whatever. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, interesting. So if you're interested about control realities stuff, the web-based editors seem really interesting. So it's worth to try those out, and maybe you can find an angle for your company there. So great. So next up, Sami Laukkanen from Ade. Yeah. Great.
Okay, so hello everybody. My name is Sami Laukkanen. I'm a VR developer at Ade. So basically today I'm going to tell you a little bit about Ade and basically what we are working at currently. So first about Ade. So basically it's a Finland-based, Turku-based high-tech software company, and we are developing VR simulators, animations, web-based, basically web-based trainings and whatever animations. Also some 360 stuff as well there. But yeah, so over 20 years experience on the field, and basically we have started working with virtual reality quite early on. Well, I have been working at Ade about now 1.5 years, but basically we are developer there for the whole time. We have many projects that we have in our company, and also like we have been part of like the Turku area with other companies as well. And yeah, I think that's about our company. We also have our like sister company and working on this kind of healthcare-based solutions in virtual surgery, but I'm not going to go into that today. The thing that I want to talk about today is our kind of new thing that we are working on. So the idea here is to like unify all of our like VR applications under the same hood. So basically, without having to always like fiddle with different equipment, we have all of our like VR trainings under this same launcher, and we can launch all of the applications through this like a pylon. So it has a touch screen. You will log in through your company's given like an account that like is it's in our back end, and basically whatever like applications or the VR trainings your company has access to, like you are able to train in those. So basically like this kind of an easy way of train in one place. The idea of this is also that if you get one of these in your company or whatever, you can also move it around, so it's basically not just a stationary thing. There is one cable that you basically plug in and then start moving it around. And like we have also like localization support for like different languages, so our applications can be like in English and in Finnish. But yeah, so this kind of a neat package. Next up, I think there should be a video that demonstrates the. Can I start the video here?
Get certifications digitally. The certifications can be completed independently in cooperation between online training and simulator training. Compared to classroom training, virtual reality accurately and impartially measures skills. Learning is 4 times faster. Practice safely dangerous situations. Get qualified directly from workplace. Scales according to the number of employees. Proven to be effective and cost-effective. No installation or calibration needed. Compatible with all VR devices. Multiple headsets. Multilingual AI-based chatbot. Manage Pylon from web interface. Add your own VR exercises to the Pylon. Separate training and certificate test environments. An appointment is made for the certificate test and the certifying body joins the virtual exercise remotely. Pylon has a library of 50 exercises at your disposal. Order Pylon. ade.fi.
Yeah, there's a short video about basically the functions of like what we can do with the Pylon. Next up, I'm going to show you a little bit like about the different devices it supports. So basically, like I would say, our like VR applications are well known in that sense that, or the main specialty in them is that we are using like these specialized controllers. So we are not just using the VR controllers, but we actually also use this kind of an 3D printed controller. So we have our like actual like a crane controller, like for forklift driving. We have the steering wheel and also the chair, and also the different functions for each of the parts of the forklift. Also like mobile, like this lifting platform that you can like raise one person next to like a tall building, for example. We have a working basically that kind of a system for it. And also there is this fire extinguisher that you also hold, so you get this kind of a nice feeling. You actually use the trigger on the fire extinguisher instead of just the controllers to control these kind of simulators. So we have expertise in those, and the different basically devices one by one. So the forklift driving setup, and you can basically also customize these based on your needs. So we have one, for example, instead of using VR, we have this like large triple monitor support for it. So basically, if somebody doesn't want to use VR, we can also use those large monitors for it. That's basically the only one I think that is running on monitor currently. All of the other applications that we have are pretty much VR. Then about the mobile lifting platform. So yeah, you can set up this. Like this also works without that cabin, but like you can just like hook those joysticks into the Pylon itself, and you don't need that. But like if somebody wants the extra immersion, you can also like put this kind of a thing in place, and we have actually tried it hooking to, like we are using those basic wipe trackers. So we are hooking one of them into the fire extinguisher base and one into the hose part. And we are able to track both of those in VR and basically do the fire simulator with that way to give extra immersion. And then the same with the crane lifting, and that uses this kind of an, well, I'm sure, I think all of these are based on some real models. I just don't know which ones, but I think it might be something that Meyer is using. And then basically the idea is that also with our VR trainings, you get certified by Kiva. So basically if you're like a training in our VR applications, then you can also do the final exercise, and basically that way you are able to get like this kind of a certification from Kiva, and that kind of like finalizes or like basically makes the training valid that you have done in the VR. All right, but that's it. So thank you.
Okay, thanks, Sami. Thank you. Yeah, I have been testing those custom controllers there, and they're really good. And you get the feeling of actually driving the crane and taking out the fire if you have the possibility of test those. So I advise to do so. Thanks. Okay, next up. So that's all presenters today. Next up, we will set up the panel, so maybe a few minutes, and we'll get back to you stream. So, okay, thanks. Okay, mic is on. Okay, so the last part, maybe we keep it a little bit shorter, but we'll have the panel now. And we have our moderator, David Oliva from Turku. So you can take over.
Thank you very much, Yami, for inviting me to do this thing for the very first time. I tried to script it, but I think because of time limitations, I will go a little bit faster. I would like, in any case, first to thank you for coming and perform a little bit introduction. And actually, in my list, there was this gentleman that is just coming from the toilet, so let's wait to reach the space. And so welcome, Sami Laukanen. You are a VR developer in ADE. I should inform you that according to LinkedIn, we are still work colleagues. Yeah. But we know that you are working in ADE, one of the leading companies in virtual reality development. Yes. So thanks for coming. We also have Juha Saarinen, he is my co-worker, that I can assure. But he's one of those persons in the world that doesn't have a LinkedIn profile. Yeah, so we are lucky that today we will hear from him, who is him and what he does. We also have Natasha Skuld. She is a CEO, a teacher, chairperson, a superwoman, somebody said, and even an emeritus chairperson. I thought that you get the emeritus grade when you are very old.
So I am old.
You are old.
This is just a war paint. I'm very old.
It looks good. Thanks for coming in here. And then we also have Frans Senala. And I might say that you have the easier LinkedIn profile of all of those to understand. You are the sales and marketing manager at Control Reality. So thank you very much for coming in here. And I would like to start with some easy questions. So you have most probably all our guests online. I understood there are already thousands in there. But let's imagine that some of them don't know what does it mean, this collaborative training using virtual reality or other technologies. So if you will need to explain it to my grandmother, and she is well educated, speaks 3 languages, but a bit old school. Yeah. So how do you explain what is this?
Collaborative training in virtual reality.
Yes.
It's basically just go together in space, like we used to do in our natural life. The biggest difference is that you put goggles on your face and you see different world. But basically it's just that. Then it depends what you have there, what is your topic, what kind of tools you have there. It depends on that, what you will do then. But it's not that different when you get the hang of it. And usually, I would say that it's quite immersive right away. So when you first time put the glasses on, you are in there. Even those of you who have ever been there, it's weird before you put the glasses, but right away after the glasses you are in there and it just works.
Okay, thank you, Juha. My next question is for Sami. I forgot to say the good professional you are. I was really happy to work with you because you always give time to the people. I know you are a good developer, but now I don't want to ask you how to develop, but how does it feel? What does it mean that you take one of those glasses and one of those nice controls that you have? And how does it feel as a person in there?
Like what it feels like developing one of those applications?
No, what does it feel to use them?
Well, I would say like I still enjoy playing those VR games on my free time. So things like, for example, Beat Saber is a perfect example, like exercise. So I don't know, it's just like it's not about the graphics for me. I think it's about the feeling and like, well, if I may basically say that like Beat Saber, for example, is the perfect example. Like it just has the game feel nailed down. So like just like slashing those notes, it's just fun, and like when you get the exercise at the same time, it's, I don't know, it's a really good feeling, you know. And like it's I think it's completely different from like normal gaming. Like normal gaming, it has its place too, like I still like to enjoy whatever new games there are coming out on a monitor, but like VR just like offers something different, and I think it's the moving in that virtual space is the thing for me. Yeah.
Thank you. Natasha,
Yes.
you are, among other things, a visual artist. But in virtual reality, I have the feeling that it's not only about the visuals. We have 5 senses at least. Some people say that we have 8. And so in here, hearing might be important as a tool for communicating,
Absolutely.
but also to be aware about what we have around, about the things we don't see, what we can hear, but also the haptics. And we see in most of the videos and presentations there is always people using those controls, except in at least Ade was showing some. But all in all, what do you think is the level of detail that a virtual reality training simulator or a simulation should have to be successful?
When it comes to visual language set for doesn't matter is it virtual reality or more traditional way of gaming, so to say, or any kind of medium. I think the most important thing is what this experience is supposed to provide for the user. That's what is the goal with. And from the goal, then we see what visual language, so what shape, color, everything else is supposed to be, what atmosphere is supposed to have. So from that goal, you kind of go backwards to see what would be the best fit for it. So when it comes to, I do agree what somebody said, that it's, for me, as a VR user, on the free time, including, Beat Saber, that's my gym as well. So for me, what's really the most impactful thing is that you're taking active part in this world. So it's a different feel. So you are active part of the story, and you have that freedom. Sure, you have it also when you think about it, but you have representation of yourself in some way in other games. Here, you are in the game, literally immersed. Hence the virtual reality. So it's not extended reality by any means, and that's why the whole way of presentation, as well as experience design, interaction design, everything else was basically reshaped from the best practices that we had so far in creating things for virtual reality, because suddenly the standard game design doesn't work, the standard UI UX design doesn't work. So many questions, like so many things just went off, like exploded. But then this is how by doing that, by figuring out, we are figuring what would be the best experience design, including then the audio visual, because audio is incredibly important for overall immersiveness, and in VR because of 360, like that is additional thing, but also in some of the, of course, more traditional games. So for me, that's that act of being part of the world, like actually there, is something that is incredibly powerful, and that's from where the visual then side should follow, because it depends what you are presenting there, and what is the topic, what is the goal. Again, is it safety training, is it educational, is it pure entertainment? It really depends. Like, so from there, from the goal, you start figuring out what would that be. So that's kind of, but unfortunately there is no recipe book for it, that you can just, now I make this, now let's do that. So you just have to also, and obviously testing with users as early as possible. Like that's the thing. Always include users, target audience in your work.
I will ask about that soon. Thank you, Natasha. Franz, you are a seller. So how do we sell this technology? My son has learned to be an investor watching YouTube videos. He's an expert nutritionist watching YouTube videos. So what do you say to the companies that you reach? Why this method of learning, training, it's better than any other method that is available? How do you sell?
It depends who we are selling to. If it's B2B, B2C. But if I start with B2B, you really need to be understandable. Make it really understandable. For example, I don't really like to say the word metaverse because no one knows what it means. Like really, it's a terrible word in my opinion. So I usually just try to keep it simple at least. Virtual reality, even that might cause some confusion, but like if you like specify it, tell it like it is, it becomes so much easier. And also these like visual examples and testing the technology out. That's really important. For example, during COVID, it was really difficult to sell because one of the key selling points is that you have to try it out. You really need to try it to understand it. And if you don't try it, you really don't understand it, even though we have these nice video examples and presentations and everything. But I think the main thing is just to try it. And going and putting yourself into those positions in order for the customer to try it.
May I ask something? So did you, so I fully agree with you with the metaverse as a word. But have you encountered, because quite many people when they start kind of using terms, they use virtual double as a kind of like explain like what it is without showing. Like so think about it as a virtual double. Did you come across something like that or some other terms? I'm literally curious now, asking you as a...
digital twin,
yeah.
For example, that's a term that's used. Digital double, yeah, maybe. I've heard those terms, yeah.
Yeah, but is this something that you also use or
No. I try to keep it simple. Like virtual reality is something that people already understand. I don't even like to use XR because that might be confusing to some people. If you try to sell to a 50-year-old factory worker, for example, he doesn't know anything about anything with XR.
We have that problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So virtual reality might be something they already know because of the goggles and the headsets, and AR is something they might know. So those are the terms I mainly use.
Okay. Now, same question for all of you. You can choose the order of answering, but what is bad in the technology? What it's miss? What's the bottleneck?
Yeah, I would say, like, if I may go first, like, it's hard to set up. Like, even though we are starting to, like, our main goal with the pylon, for example, is to basically make it easier, but just how the technology is at the moment, it doesn't run when you plug it into the computer. You still need like software to run it. If the software fails, if there's something blocking the line of sight between the lighthouses and the VR headset, something may fail. Like if something like that happens, you are not able to see anything in VR, and like the technology sometimes can be tricky in that way. And when it goes to that point where it's just easy to use as like a, I guess, mobile phone or something like that would be the main point, I think, that would bring it forward. And well, maybe it's like those standalone headsets, like the Oculus Quest 2 and like the Pico 4 and stuff like that, because the whole operating system is like inside the headset. But the problem with those is that like you don't get those extra nice like fancy controllers, or you always get like downgrade graphics because it's like mobile hardware inside the glasses. But I guess maybe at one point or at some point when that evolves, I think it must be, or like should be at least, easier to adapt.
I will add controllers on that topic, because in my experience, those who know how controllers work, who are familiar with those, they are really accurate, really nice things. You have a lot of different options, but when you get somebody who use first time, they are totally lost. And the opposite for that would be hand tracking without controllers. It's immersive right away, but they are not accurate enough. Depends how it's built. You might get your other hand on top of other and your fingers go behind your palm and things like that. So they won't work if you get your hands around out of the sight. You lose control. You don't have any haptical feedback without controls. And the next step will be those sense gloves kind of stuff. Don't work. We have tested those, maybe in future. So there's something weird in that space, like real controls for real devices might be the solution, but then you need to print all the possible different devices.
Yeah, like it works nice when you already have the software running, and if you're just able to like put the headset on somebody who doesn't know how to play, in that case it works. But how about when you have to start the whole system, and if there is some software like hiccup, basically that's also like the problem with like the PC VR when it's not like this that standalone. So yeah, like I would say like the like customized controllers help, but like you still need to like get it running.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd add motion sickness to the mix. Unfortunately, some people just get the motion sickness, and I don't know if it's preventable. Those elements that have been causing motion sickness, companies and Meta and all those companies that make the glasses and the headset, they've really taken it into consideration, and the glasses are much better nowadays. But still, some people get motion sickness. That's just a fact.
Yeah, and you need to take that in account when you build your applications, that you don't get too fast movements, especially when you get up and down movements, you get really dizzy really fast.
Yeah, in my case, I mean, thinking of like this sort of technical stuff, I mean, our job is to find solutions, so I'm not worried about that. It's just another challenge. What bothers me throughout all these years is that because, you know, VR is, you know, a big thing, and it is, like, there's so much, I mean, there's so much one can do with it. So what bothers me is that devices are not accessible, meaning that people, mortals, do not have them. So we can't improve technology and the way how when we don't have actual users. Like, be honest, us who own it, even for free time, that's a privilege. So once the devices are available, just like phones are, meaning smartphones who were before, now that everyone has, across the regions of the globe, anywhere, there will be some, at least by some extent, access to it. Here we have a handful of very privileged, mainly Western people, who actually have it in a real, at home, or through maybe console, meaning PS5 or PS4, but PS5 now, as a kind of most novel thing, which is very limiting. Like, there are no users compared to other things, and this is the problem. How are we supposed to improve technology, content creation, all that when there are no users? And the biggest thing for me in there, like a creative, like as an artist, I can tell you there is no art without audience. What is art if there is no one to interact with it in any way? So same thing here. If there are no users, what's the point of technology? It's useless. It's just dusting there. So I'm hoping that they will get their heads out of black holes and basically get the devices accessible to mortals, so we can actually figure out what to do, what to improve, how to together with the users. And not handful of us who are already in the field, and that doesn't really count. Because we already think what we would improve, and it's the same like any other game design or experience design. I don't make games for myself. I should enjoy what I make, but I make games for our players, which are completely different people than I or our team. So that's the thing, we are having still this bubble of VR that it's not actually being out there. It's better than it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago, sure, yeah, clearly, but it's still not there. Why?
Well,
like, that's kind of the, yeah, it's a capitalism stuff, but anyway.
Yeah, like I was thinking, like, what do you think, is it the price of the VR devices, or is it that there is no, like, games or applications to use them with?
It's a witch's circle. It's a witch's circle there. There are no content because there are no users. Because why would you make someone if there is, why would you spend, you know, hundreds of thousands, if not millions, in creating something that there are no users? That's one. Then once there are users, the problem is that accessibility again. VR does require space. Like, one of the biggest issues in Asian markets, why there, for example, it's more mobile. Even you have a strategy and very heavy, RPGs and all these titles which are for core gamers, you have them on mobile because people don't literally have physical space where to play. So they play on trains, they play in their whatever cubicles they live in as apartments because they don't have space to set up 2 times 2 meters for gaming. Like that's the reality of humanity again out there. So accessibility to that it requires space, which not everyone actually has. Once again, back to privilege here. But in reality, that's why mobile devices are so powerful, because they allow you to exit this reality through that little screen while traveling 2 hours with train somewhere, like to your work in certain Asian. When you think about just Asia and that's why there works perfectly fine to have very hardcore game on a mobile, while in Western it's like, why would I do that? I have my battle station at home PC set up and I'm gonna game as long as I want. And so it's a different, there are so many aspects to take under consideration and not just look from own perspective, because we have a very, but we have one perspective and there are so many out there that unfortunately also these corporations also apparently are not considering, because otherwise we still have this issue that no users, no content. And then what comes, which comes first, as a chicken egg, although we do know that comes egg first anyway, so, but yeah, which one is egg in this case, I don't know. So that's
I think that's the problem in the business to consumer side of things, but business to business is completely different.
Oh yeah, that works perfectly.
Yeah, that will work, and I think the first breakthrough will come from that.
Yeah, but there was what's the pain? For me, pain is users, because I create content.
Yeah.
I want people. For clients, for B2B, that's all perfect, no problem. And they have no problem to also have even dedicated staff who will fiddle with these technical issues. So that's different, but I want to focus on people because they are the ones that matter. Companies come and go, but people stay. And this is something we need to also consider.
Okay, thank you. France.
Yeah.
If we think about the markets, and for now we left on the side gaming, but we concentrate on industrial training. How do you think it's going to evolve in exactly 5 years? Because 5 years ago they were talking virtual reality is coming, everybody will have the glasses, and I was imagining my kids with the glasses in there. And so luckily, I will say it didn't happen at that level. I don't know, that can be another question, no? Like what's the right age to start to be so immersed that you don't talk to your parents anymore? But yes, what's the market?
I think it's getting there. I've worked for Quantum Reality for 4 years now, and I've seen the evolution already. Nowadays, companies already have people that are dedicated to XR things, for example. 4 years ago, they didn't have those people. But now it's definitely getting there. People are understanding the possibilities and the benefits that XR and VR can offer. So I think in 5 years, it will be utilized much more. How much more, I don't know, but I've seen some promising signs.
And then when you talk to a client, to a company, who are the most difficult to convince within the company? Like occupational health managers, the workers, the boss, the one that sits on the money. Who's
the most difficult one?
Yeah.
Usually it's the one who sits on the money, who decides. Yeah. The last person who decides. Usually he's the final lock. But of course it's different in different organizations. You just need to find the right person and try to go from there.
Okay. Sami, you are very good at technology, and we were talking about the bottlenecks. So what things are still missing? But what do you think, apart from those ones, could be the next technology developments for industrial training?
What could be the next ones?
And feel free everybody else to answer that.
Yeah. Well, I have been trying, for example, like the streaming aspect of VR headsets. So basically, utilizing the power of the PC and then streaming that without a cable to your like VR headset. Like that feels kind of like a next gen to me, at least. Like when I was working at Tuas 2 years ago, and like it was always a headset with a cable, and like that's kind of like a like when you're rotating in the space, like it's annoying to like watch out for the cable and stuff like that. So basically everything that you can get wireless, I would like say that that's better. So streaming in that sense would be at least something, and I think we already like said something about hand tracking, like the problems with it. But I think if that gets better, like if it can recognize like things outside your field of vision, I think that's going to be a big thing, because then you don't have to use those controllers. Like maybe the controllers are good for like core gamers, because you get the haptic feedback and stuff like that. Like it mimics a gun basically for an action game. But when you're like doing a simulator for like any kind of serious game project or something like that, you want to get the person like as easily into the game as possible. Like if you're able to like say in a tutorial that use things as you would use them in real life, like that's easy. Like if like grab that object from the table, like if you can do it by grabbing your like hand or like putting a fist gesture and grabbing the object from the table, that's perfect. Like if you have to press some trigger, then it's already like few people are going to fail that. Like it's not going to like not everybody is able to do it. So I would say like hand tracking and streaming and whatever is like wireless technology, like get that headset much easier in your head, make it lighter, stuff like that. I would say is going to be good.
I will get few years forward in the future, but I'm feeling that with the AI technology we will have system that recognize from video footage distances, surfaces, little objects, and then you can interact with your real environments remotely.
Yeah.
When you get that kind of like spatial recognition through the video feedback.
Yeah, and for us, like personally, like well, for Ade, basically it would be really nice if we would have like inside-out tracking. So basically the headset tracking our controllers, but also like tracking those special controllers, like trackers and stuff like that. So that would be like really good, because it would make it so much easier to like travel with these things and like set up into a new place when you don't have to like put those lighthouses into the place to track the VR devices. Like just have that one headset and the controllers, whatever you need, and like that would be perfect.
I don't know. In my case, what I would like to see is that definitely wireless and kind of more of a, let's say, Oculus 2 kind of Quest 2 kind of setup, like just but better quality in the sense of like just interaction, like more power to it. But what I would like to see, let's say that sort of headsets that you have your own, like that's something that you have, like, and might be much smaller and so on, but it would be something might be, you know, in your pocket, kind of like glasses. But the thing would be that it would be a social aspect, that we can do some stuff here ad hoc also, not necessarily, like, sure you have to kind of sync somehow. Because now there is a social side, of course, with beacons and stuff, you can do that. But when it comes to actual without, like when everyone has own, let's say, Oculuses, it doesn't work as well as, I mean, there are some kind of, but not really. I would like to see that, so we can actually do stuff as well, and especially if, let's say, we are all here, and some friend, like there was, which one was presenting that there are the, I think control reality, like that you have your hub and so on, Mika Luimala, of course, like, and this, so that you would have this, you know, in the you know, so there's stuff that happens in work, but you can still do some stuff here while still being virtual for inclusiveness, in a sense that others can join in online as well, not just at the spot, but something like, so it's more of a social aspect, especially if we are talking about the training and so, because it has been very solitary experience. No matter that there are these avatars flying, but it's not really, like, it would be nice to have that social aspect. But that's for the again, most likely further. Yes.
Would you like Franz to comment? What will be your next demand for the technology too?
Next demand. I've had a lot of interesting discussions, and for example, with the military, and the guy from the military said that he tested out this haptic feedback gloves, and they were totally really bad shit. He actually said shit, but that would be something interesting in the future, like haptic gloves that actually work.
For me, I can say that one of the parts that I would like to see more is the conversational artificial intelligence, the possibility that I don't have a tutor, a mentor, or a teacher following what I'm doing, but it is the machine which is able to adapt the task real time with, hey, be careful, you are going too fast, or any type of real time reaction. That's something that I think will help a lot in pedagogics. There are some talks, teachers thinking it will take out our jobs. I don't think.
No.
It will give you more time to then talk and with your students and do more interesting things. Okay, I suppose we are going out of time, but still I would like to have one question. We are talking about training, and it means teaching, learning. How do we verify then that the learning has occurred, that it's more effective than traditional methods? What type of data you try to provide to your clients, or what do they get out of your applications?
Oof, who wants to
Toughie, yeah, toughie.
End it with a ban. End it with a ban. Let me think. So basically, yeah. The thing here is that, especially when you think about B2B, because education and so on, this is not, so our clients are not, let's say, teachers, are not the trainers. It's their clients. Like, that's kind of like how it goes. So it's not the one, like when you think about teaching itself. So there are students and teacher is facilitator and so on. But so how we do it and how we measure, make sure that it's really working together from the day zero, from the design and all, that we have these experts on their field together, regardless is it teaching, like education, healthcare, whatever it is, that the team is working as one from their side and us as developers. So that the game designer, because game designer designs the experience for gamification. So the point is that there is an actual game designer professional doing this, not another engineer or another teacher, let's say in educational side. No, it's about, let's figure out what it is based on the goal of the learning outcome, how we're gonna design it that it actually does exactly what you, because the beauty of game design is that we are in charge of how players behave with illusion of choice in the virtual world. I'm talking about any game. That's what we do. There is illusion of choice. It's all us designing all the choices. So utilizing that from commercial games into this, we have to know from the professionals in the field that yes, these are the outcomes that we need to see. Let's say the student learns, but how we get there with this fun parts, twists, and so on, that's where design comes in. And then we, together with them, it's a testing from day one, not when you have something, no, you test from literally day zero. And design can be, if it's a good design, it can be tested with sticks and stones. You don't need a line of code for that. So we're talking about experience. So together with them, testing that before even getting into the whole tech side. And that's something that helped us a lot. And then that's how we also saw in real, like, concrete results that it works.
I showcased today the training solution we made for Linde, the gas tanker truck training. Whenever we make a new training solution for a customer, we really have to become experts of that field, of that thing. For example, now we're experts of gas tanker trucks, because we made a training solution for Linde, who train people for gas tanker tractor. But whatever. The thing is, you need continuous dialogue with the customer. What is this task? when we ask this question, they don't even know usually. We have to like put it in many different pieces, like 20 different phases or 30 different phases, and they've never thought about it actually. They're like, oh, I've never thought about it in that way. Like, okay, there is 30 different phases, but we need the dialogue, we need the back and forth, then a lot of testing, a lot of feedback, and then it goes from there. But we really need to become experts of every single thing we do. And I think that's the main thing. That's how we guarantee that the training scenario and training solution is going to be successful.
And then there is this thing. You have different learning semantics, let's say. Like if you're trying to learn quantum physics, you cannot do it in practice. So it's theory. And then you need to have a different solution to go through all the knowledge that there is. And then you have, let's say, the forklift scenario when you need to feel it in your ass, let's say, when you are driving it, and you cannot get the same feeling anyway in the forklift.
Yeah.
You know? So there is something in between, and I'm sure that there is the right solution, right objectives for the learning that really benefits from the VR, but there must be something that you kind of lack anyways, or something that you need to get the knowledge elsewhere. So it's not only like how we can measure or what we can do, it's also about the matter of subject.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just yet another tool.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
true.
what it
Yeah.
is. It's just yet another tool, and it cannot really ever replace real part. But what it can do, like we saw in so many cases today, and we know that from the literal data that from work, is that it can create this safer environment, and yes, cost effective. So many things that you can do before you actually go. So you can pass through all these certificates and stuff before you actually go to deal with the machinery, so that it helps out that because also people learn differently. Everyone is very individual how they receive information, and this is another thing, and accessibility, literal accessibility to kind of like understand how certain individuals should be learning. Because yeah, we know that from schools that kind of it doesn't work that way. So with this technology, we have ability to adjust the content based on the individual's needs. And yet that they better understand that, so once they are there with the gas and so on, they don't get to, like, so it's that sort of thing. So it's a tool, but it cannot replace real world, especially when it comes to certain things. It can give more opportunities for different trainings, but that's all. That's another tool.
Yeah, and still you need to motivate your student.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the biggest issue as a teacher, as a math teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get back to this, but that's I feel like you said, like it's just a tool. If you have the person who is willing to learn, and you have enough information in your system, and the user interface is usable, he or she will learn.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what is the code.
The one problem with that, like training in virtual reality, is that, like usually, I don't know if you have run into this problem, but most of the time the simulation comes first. Like you have to simulate that real thing, but the application might feel boring at the start. So like the user might not learn as well because like you're just making a boring simulator. Like maybe the simulation is like a correct, like works correctly, but then like the user is not engaged in the content. So
that's where storytelling comes in.
Yeah.
Because that's where you can. That's the tool that we have. So you can create this sort of like get them spice up there, because it doesn't have to be just text on some pop-up. Oh, you should do this or something like flowing from there to there. No, make it engaging. Like same like as we do in other applications we make.
Yeah.
And of course data, but we're out of time, so.
Yeah, a lot of time, and I know that data is something that interests me a lot. And also you have
Data first.
So perhaps we have the chance to continue another day this conversation. Thanks a lot to Nite Northern Axar for giving us the chance, and thanks for our guest speakers, Juha, Natasha, Sami, and Franz.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Do we stay?
We're staying or going.
Okay, thank you very much for the panel and all the presentations. It was fantastic. You did a great job, David. It was, the first time. I'd definitely invite you back to do another panel for sure. And of course, it seems like there needs to be a part 2. There's a lot that a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience, and a lot that you have to say. So I know that'd be very interesting for everybody. This is the second leg of our Finland tour for AWE Nights. We were in Jyväskylä in January, and now we're here in Turku in April. So where should we go next? I'll leave that to the audience and people out all over Finland that have. I was gonna say there's Tampere, there's Oulu, there's Joensuu, but they contact me. We can make it happen. If you have people that you know that would.
Yeah. I can help you with it. Yeah, Tampere.
Let's get it done then.
Yeah.
So Tampere in our next one. Yeah. We're gonna have to figure out what day we'll have that, but that's coming soon because it's gonna happen now. And so I just want to thank you all for being here in the audience, those that are following us online, all the participants, and yeah, thank you for making this a wonderful event. Thank you, Yami, and Turku AMK for hooking it up, for Sparka for the venue, all of our sponsors, Spatial 8 for paying for my train ticket here, and what was the one thing? Yes. So Finland has a lot of great things going on in the XR scene, and I just want to show the world and use this platform to show the world that we truly are XR Nation. Anything else you want to say, my friend?
No, I was just really enjoying the talk.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was nice.
Great, thank you very much. Have a good evening.